Great. Okay, let's get started. So, hello everyone. My name's Jem Walters. I'm co-founder and CTO of Snoop. We are a fintech startup based in Norwich and London, and we founded our business almost to the day a year ago. We launched on a public launch on Thursday last week, or Friday last week actually, which means putting our app on the App Store. As it says there, we are an app-only business designed, and our app is designed to help customers save money through analysing their banking transactions for their own benefit. We are regulated by the Financial Services Authority Financial Conduct Authority under open banking as an AISP, Account Information Service Provider. The founding team are all ex-Virgin Money, and it was actually a redundancy event that gave us this opportunity to start something new. We'd all worked together at Virgin Money, building brands, businesses, and financial services. So we have quite a lot of experience in that founding team. Since then, we've been steadily growing the team, mainly in the tech capability space, actually, and digital marketing space. We're now at 21 people with 3 new hires inbound in the next 3 weeks. We came out of stealth mode in October last year when we launched the brand, and we've had a very positive reception. We got ourselves 10,000 people on our waiting list, which participated in the beta program that we successfully ran from February through to the end of last week. Lots of social media coverage, lots of national news coverage, and quite amazingly, we've had 3,000 downloads since we launched a week ago, which is massively encouraging. I guess we are aiming to become, digital utopia type business, which is a marketplace business where we're connecting customers with relevant insights, content, and products. So that sort of sets the scene. The problem we're addressing, I think, is one that's known as the loyalty premium. I think everyone will probably recognize this, that at some point, through your relationship with various, probably large businesses, maybe banks, at some point you felt ripped off by, or not best served by that customer, by that business. Consumer markets, or CMA, sorry, I believe that as many as 8 in 10 people are paying more than they should for a product, again being penalised for their loyalty. Citizen Advice believe this is customers are missing out on potentially 4 billion a year across various product lines. We think that's actually a low ball figure, and so I guess the problem that we want to solve is take some of that 4 billion and put it back into consumers' pockets. The opportunity is really one based around open banking. So for those that are not familiar with open banking, I think probably many of you are, it's a new, relatively new, it's been around for a couple of years, but relatively new regulation backed by legislation in the UK, which mandates banks, credit card companies, payment providers to open up their data to customers through a consent model. Which means customers can then take that data and share it with businesses or third parties that they trust. UK is very much leading the way, is seen as the shining light across the world in terms of this type of initiative in open banking. It's also establishing in Europe and Australia, North America, we see similar things happening. The market opportunity is massive. As I said, even though open banking's been around for a couple of years, no one's really come up with a killer proposition yet. So who knows, maybe Snoop could be that. But the door is open, and we're seeing more and more adoption by consumers, more and more integrations from businesses looking to build propositions on top of open banking happening all the time now. Various figures being estimated on what the overall opportunity is, but let's just say it's big, it's encouraging. Beyond open banking, the UK government has sponsored an initiative called Smart Data, which is looking at can they take the principles of open banking and apply it across more broadly across the financial sector to pensions, insurance, savings products, and beyond financial institutions to telcos, utility companies. So it's not inconceivable that, you know, a year or two from now, we'll see APIs being used by consumers in a way that is as natural as using, you know, digital services and the internet today. So we think that we're at the very forefront of something that's going to be quite revolutionary and disruptive over the next few years. What Snoop does is where we position ourselves. We do money management, but we're not a money management app. We do offer switching price comparison, but we're not a switching price comparison site. We do offer money saving advice, tips, hints, guidance, discounts, offers, but we're not a Quidco, we're not a Martin Lewis. We kind of sit in between all of that. We sometimes like to describe ourselves saying, well, if we can give you 80% of the value of a site like Martin Lewis, but at 20% of the content, then, you know, we're probably on the right sort of track. We're using, basically using people's data to help personalize, analyze their data, personalize or understand, analyze the spending patterns, and then personalize content, offers, product switching opportunities to them. From a tech point of view, we are cloud native. We are completely serverless. This is really important, I think, for us. We run a small team. I want my tech team, some of them on the call now, to focus on creating business and customer value and avoid that unrewarded heavy lifting. We have to be secure. We're not a bank, but we are handling people's banking data. We have to be very scalable. Already, just with the few thousand customers that we've got today, we're in the region of 20 million banking transactions in our platform and over 40 million personalized recommendations. We have to be adaptable. It's got to be low cost. So we've gone all in on the cloud, all in on public cloud, all in on software.
7 minutes, Jem.
Yeah. We use a lot of artificial intelligence. Recommendation engine is the key one, which is the thing that delivers the personalization and the Snoops, as we call them, to individuals. It gives you the money saving tips. We've just started an interesting development on balance forecasting, which is to help you manage your spending between now and your next payday. Make sure there's not too much a month left at the end of the money. We have a regular payments analyzer which checks out all your regular outgoings, your regular bills, and lets you know when they're going up and down. Banking data is traditionally not very good. It's quite dirty data. It's not particularly enriched, so we spend quite a bit of time cleaning and enriching that data and understanding our customers through smart analysis of their data is again a key thing for us. You only need 3 pieces of data to open an app with us. It's what's your name, or what do you want to be called by, what's your mobile number, and what's your email address. Everything else beyond that we derive from your banking data. What's been achieved so far? We started off, we've done a hell of a lot in the last 12 months. We designed our launch proposition, we launched the brand, we got our regulation, we engaged with our initial build partners, we built a platform in 16 2-weekly sprints, we implemented our first data science models and algorithms. We actually launched an alpha after, I think it was 6 sprints or something like that, 12 weeks back in October. We got a beta away at the beginning of February, that went really well, and as I said before, we launched on the app stores last week, which really marks the end of the beginning for us. And we've been hiring, you know, we've added double the size of the team, a few more on the way. In terms of what's coming up, beyond, I've already mentioned it, beyond open banking, there's open data, more data sources, more volume of data. The potential volumes we're looking at are massive. Beyond curating the content ourselves, we want to open the platform up so that the community can serve itself and find its own money-saving tips and hints, and looking at really sort of localized offers. Beyond that as well, looking at sponsored Snoop, so, you know, paid for advertising on the platform. We're focusing on consumer proposition and mass consumer proposition at the moment. Open banking is also available for small business, so we'd love to do Snoop for business as well. And then beyond the UK, the model is extendable. You know, it's not a cookie cutter quite approach, but you get the point that wherever there are APIs that expose interesting data, such as banking data, then we can take the Snoop proposition. And that is that. And it's available to you all to go and download during the next presentation. It takes 5 minutes.